What's going on, Alliance family? It's your Valorant General Manager, James Banks, here, and this is the announcement we've been waiting for. Our first signing for the team is none other than Fearoth, who is going to be our IGL. You may know him from back on when he was on NIP. He's played across Valorant since the very beginning, had a great career so far, and he is my first building block to make this magic happen. And Fearoth, you know, when we first started out, right, we were trialing players, and it was like, before we even picked you as to be the IGL, it was this crazy 10-man. And I had a very interesting way of doing things. I wanted it to be not just everyone gets to play the agent they wanted, not to be all like easy games and stuff. We were mixing things up. But just talk to me about that process and how it felt for you.
Yeah. Hello, guys. First, about the 10-man process, it was something special, something unexpected, because usually teams don't really do that. So during the 10-man games, because I think we had 4 or 6 games, if I remember well, during the 10-man, it was one full day. Basically, it was about mixing up different people, see how it went, and I really believe that you and Mitch basically were looking for different profiles in the 10 months, so in the 10 months games. So this is what I actually liked. It was not a 10-man in order to find a full lineup, like a full team from the start. This 10-man was meant to just spot a few profiles to eventually make more trials for a team. And
Exactly.
I like the idea of playing some games with different people and mixing it up to eventually find a few players and make something around that.
And that was it, right? My goal here was to not just test all these known players and players that had a background in Valorant. I wanted to test also some unknown players who hadn't had chances before, but also test people like you, because you were sometimes given players you'd never even seen before, didn't know what they were going to play. We were throwing curveballs left, right, and center. I wanted to try something very unique in order for me to understand, okay, who's got this that could be worked with, and what could be happening. When it came to you, obviously, I saw your natural IGL capabilities to think on the fly, to think fast. But after the first trial, did you have a good impression and think, okay, I've done well, like, or were you still nervous?
I never was really nervous because I know what I have to do in game, but I was more nervous about people that I didn't know at all and that I met, and eventually it was a really good thing to meet new people during the trials because we played with players that we never played with.
Yeah.
So that was a special thing. But I think I did pretty well because in the end I was just happy about what I did. Like whether you win or lose the game, I think I really did my part, and I gave my maximum to make sure the players around me could play at their maximum potential. And this is what I'm going to do at Alliance as well in the future.
And this is it, right? This is now the beginning, because we've been trialing players. We've had leaks come out where people are trying to say who the rosters were, which wasn't even our full team. We will be honest, right? When that comes out, everyone will go, "Oh, they don't have any of those players." But for you, right, how has it been with working with me and the rest of the Alliance guys? Because obviously, like you said, this is so new to you, but also, do you feel like this is a good way of doing things, or maybe not so good a way? Because for me, there were some parts I was doing, I'm like, maybe I should have tried this person, because you put me onto some players. You told me about some players that we can't name right now that I actually would have never looked at before.
Yeah. So I felt like I was put in a process that was really, really healthy. And to be very honest, everyone could share whatever he wanted to share about players that he knew. So whether it's you, James, or Mitch, or myself, we had a lot of information to share and a lot of ideas to share on who we wanted to trial. And the thing that we did during the trials, because we trialed many players,
Oh yes.
is that the trials went for like 2 weeks, if I'm not wrong. We decided to make sure that if we trial someone, we trial him to the fullest. So we want to see his potential to the fullest, and in the end, decide if we can play more with him or not, and see if he can fit into the the team that we have formed and the core of the team that we have formed initially. So yeah, I really like that part, that I felt like I had a decision to take. I
Mm.
had a voice in the group as well, and it's in the end, it's people deciding together about what team to
Yeah.
form, and I really like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
And I think like part of this process, right? I always said it to with you and Mitch is that it's not just me saying, okay, I want this player and this player because of this name or this profile. Like how many people we were tagged in of really famous players or players who had a lot of experience. I always wanted it to be like we all needed to agree in the right way and they have the right attitude and stuff like that. And I think that's a key part of building a team. And that's another thing. People may look at our roster when it does finally get announced of all the players and say, oh, why him? Like this person has a better KD, for example. This person gets more kills. But mentality and attitude is such an important aspect, isn't it?
Yeah, it's about fitting into a group. So that why him question is, I'm not sure it's going to be a relevant question. Like, of course, if you do not know the player, you can definitely ask the question about why this player, why not another one, you know?
Mm.
But with all the trials that we did, we are pretty sure that this is the lineup for Alliance, and this is how we are going to work from now on, you know? Because the idea was to find people we could that could fit into a group for a long-term development.
Yes.
It's not a 1 month or 2 months project. It's a long-term project, and yeah, that's the point of trials, and this is why trials are a form of pressure, because you need to be able to judge if someone can fit in this specific group. And I really want to be precise about this part. It's players fitting in that specific alliance group, and this
Mm-hmm.
is what we did during trials. If someone was not picked during the alliance trials, it's not because he's a bad player necessarily. It's just because maybe this is not the profile that we needed for this specific group, you know?
Now, talk to me about some of your goals because I know what I've set out on Twitter and publicly is that I'm looking at the long game, right? And I'm looking at
Mm.
winning titles, but I didn't even care if we don't get into VCT this first time, right? Because I understand that we have got a long road ahead and it's more the journey that I want to go through with you guys and the players. But for you, what kind of goals have you set yourself or what thoughts have you put together on like, okay, I want to make this happen?
For me, the first goal right now is to make sure that the alliance fans can be proud of the team, of the five of us as players, you know? That's the goal number one. And of course, during this year, we want to compete in all the Riot official events, and we want to make progress over all the year. We want to make some surprises. We want to win trophies. That's the main thing we want to do. And above all, we just want to make you guys proud and really happy to have this team in Valorant.
Now, getting onto some more of the funny side of things, right? The leaks. People coming into games when we were trying to get some practice games going. We were also trying to obviously work with teams that would allow me and Mitch to sit in the game and watch it. It's not been easy, has it?
No, because like if the party is open when you make trials, guys, it's never a good idea, you know. So yeah, we had some surprises, but it was not the full lineup at this very moment, so it had no negative impact. You know, that's fine. That's completely fine. But yeah, it's always surprising when you make a lobby against some other team and someone enters the lobby when he's streaming.
Never a good move for sure. But we've also had
Yeah,
some great moments throughout these trials as well, in terms of
yeah.
like just funny moments with us in game, maybe not winning some games we should have, and learning from it, laughing along the way. What's been the most enjoyable part of this process for you? What's been your highlight of it all?
The first thing I'm thinking about right now is that I feel like I am part of a healthy process where players can actually decide on who they want to play with.
Mm.
And when you are a professional player, this is an opportunity, you know, because it's not always like that. It's usually the team is deciding, the management is deciding, and you just play the game and that's it. So here, step by step, with the players that we wanted to play with, we could build a core in the team, and then with this core, we could decide on who we wanted to play with, and that's that's so good. Honestly, when you play the game, that's so good because in the end, you're going to play with people you really want to play with, and you're going to be happy to play with them. And that's if you do that, you will eventually play better. So that part I really liked it during trial. It's this is super good, and obviously like meeting new people, and we had so much fun when we played. It's it was so nice, and it's going to continue, of course.
Now I'm going to ask you this without naming the player, right? Because I'm going to start with my one. Who would you say on the lineup is going to be the biggest surprise of the community? Now I think it's going to be our Jet duelist, like I call him the star player. I think that's going to be the one that surprises people the most.
Mm, I think so too, because
Ah.
his nationality. I like his nationality. I'm not gonna say more, guys, but yeah, But I think in this lineup, everyone can be surprising, and I'm not gonna say much. You will see, and you will see what happens in game 2. Yeah.
Oh yes, we will see in game. Now, one thing that I noticed when we've been doing the practice games is we sometimes go for different agent compositions than what a lot of the normal teams. It's not like the say
Yep.
direct meta at the moment. What do you think of when it comes to this? Are you looking at the long game of changes and stuff, or are you trying to get a step ahead? What's your reasoning behind it?
So every time in this game, like on Valorant, there's always new agents coming up. The last one was Yoru. And you need to find combinations. You need to find new things to be always surprising. This is the point of playing an agent like Viper, for example.
Yeah.
You are not going to play, except maybe on one map, you are not going to play Viper all the time. You usually play Viper to surprise the opponent. So that's what we want to do with a different set of agents. So for now, what we try to work on is always be ready to change composition to do something different and always surprise. So we have maybe one, two, sometimes three different compositions depending on the map, without overcomplicating anything. But
Mm-hmm.
it's by doing that we find new things, and by doing that we know how to counter new things. And it's a way to prepare us. Basically, it's a way to play the game and go a bit deeper into what you can do on Valorant. Because on this game, there's so many things that you can do, and it's just super awesome.
Now, my final question to you is to tell all the fans out there, to tell all the Alliance family, one word or one sentence that you want to say for them to be excited about what's coming next.
Just long live Alliance, guys. That's
Hey,
the most obvious one.
he knows it already. Now you're taking the
I
words
know.
from
I have
me.
to get used to it now, guys. No, I'm
Well,
really looking forward to see you guys on socials, to talk to you as well. And as I said, goal number one for me is just to make you guys proud. So once again, long live Alliance, and we're gonna have tons of fun together.
and I've got full confidence in that. The decision for us to pick Fearoth as the IGL and to have him as the first piece of the puzzle, as it be the piece I wanted to build around, was a real easy decision once I saw the qualities he had in game, not just in being able to frag out in game, but also lead a team in the right way and work with me. So guys, stay tuned. This is only the first piece. We've got a few more signed contracts to come your way, and then we'll be bringing another announcements coming out. It is Long Live Alliance, and trust me, it's going to be a long life of Valorant in Alliance as well, because we're coming for some championships, and you guys better be ready, because I am. I'm going to be kicking, screaming, shouting behind these guys. We're going to have some fun at boot camps, and trust me, when you see the full roster, make some noise for them, because you will not want to sleep on us.